Hello, fellow travelers. Let's embark on a journey to a fascinating country in northwestern Europe, a place many of us think we know, but which is full of delightful surprises. When planning a trip, many people say, "I'm going to Holland." While that's a common phrase, and the Dutch will understand you, it's not entirely accurate. It's a bit like calling the entire United Kingdom England. The official name of the country is the Netherlands, which translates to the lowlands. The name Holland actually refers to just two of the 12 provinces, North Holland and South Holland. These are indeed important regions, home to famous cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam and The Hague, but they don't represent the whole nation. To truly appreciate this wonderful country, it's best to start by calling it by its proper name. Using the Netherlands shows respect for its complete identity and the rich diversity found across all its provinces, from Friesland in the north with its own language to Limburg in the south with its rolling hills. Each province has its own unique character, traditions, and even dialect. Thinking of the country as just Holland means you might miss out on the full picture of what makes this nation so special. So, as we pack our bags, let's make a mental note. We are heading to the Netherlands, a country far more varied and extensive than just its two most famous provinces. This distinction is more than just a geographical fun fact. It touches upon centuries of history and regional pride. The economic and maritime dominance of the provinces of North and South Holland during the Dutch Golden Age in the 17th century is why the name Holland became a common shorthand for the entire country, a bit like a brand name that stuck. However, people from the other 10 provinces might gently correct you, as their own local heritage is just as important to the national story. Recognizing this helps us travel with more awareness and connect more deeply with the people we meet along the way. So, as we begin our exploration, let's adjust our vocabulary and our perspective. We're not just visiting the land of Amsterdam's canals and Keukenhof's tulips, as wonderful as they are. We are setting out to discover the Netherlands in its entirety. This is a kingdom of 12 distinct provinces, each contributing to the nation's resilient and innovative spirit. From the windswept islands in the north to the forested hills in the south, a rich tapestry of culture, history, and landscape awaits. Let's get ready to explore the real Netherlands, a country that has mastered its environment and offers endless wonders to the curious traveler. One of the most mind-boggling facts about the Netherlands is its relationship with water. This is a country in a constant, delicate dance with the sea. A staggering 1/3 of the nation lies below sea level, a geographical reality that has shaped every aspect of Dutch life, history, and identity. The lowest point is near Rotterdam, a deep pocket of land that sits almost 7 meters below the waves of the nearby North Sea. If it weren't for an incredible system of man-made defenses, a significant portion of the country, including its major cities and economic heartland, would be submerged. This isn't just a historical challenge. It's a daily reality that requires constant vigilance and innovation. Imagine living in a house where the water level of a nearby river or sea is higher than your roof. That is the situation for millions of Dutch citizens. This constant threat from the water has forged a unique national character, one defined by resilience, cooperation, and a pragmatic, forward-thinking mindset. The old Dutch saying, "God created the world, but the Dutch created the Netherlands," is no exaggeration. For centuries, they have been reclaiming land from the sea, building defenses, and learning to manage the water that is both their greatest threat and their greatest resource. This battle has fostered a deep respect for nature and an unparalleled expertise in hydroengineering. This low-lying geography explains so much about the Dutch landscape. It's incredibly flat, which is perfect for cycling, but it also means there are no natural barriers to stop flooding. The struggle against the water is a story told in every canal, dike, and polder across the country. It's a story of communities where water schappen, waterboards, banding together since the Middle Ages to fund and maintain their local dikes. This necessity for collective action to keep their feet dry is often cited as one of the origins of the famous Dutch consensus-based political model. When your very survival depends on working together, you learn to find
Dutch don't just live with water, they have turned a constant peril into a defining and beautiful feature of their nation.
Faced with the constant threat of floods, the Dutch didn't just build walls. They became the world's foremost experts in water management. Their survival has depended on a brilliant system of dikes, polders and locks, developed over 1,000 years of trial and error. A dike is essentially a large man-made embankment, like a long, grassy wall, built to keep water out. The Dutch have constructed thousands of kilometers of them, protecting everything from tiny villages to major cities. These are not just simple mounds of earth. They are highly engineered structures, constantly monitored and reinforced to withstand the immense pressure of the sea and rivers, especially during storms. Then you have the polders, which are the heart of the Dutch landscape. A polder is a piece of low-lying land reclaimed from a body of water, like a lake or the sea, and enclosed by dikes. Once the dikes are built, the water inside is pumped out, originally by windmills and now by powerful modern pumping stations. This process reveals fertile new land below sea level, perfect for farming and settlement. The province of Flevoland, for example, is the largest artificial island in the world, created entirely from reclaimed polders in the 20th century. It's a remarkable feat of engineering, turning a vast inland sea into productive land for homes, farms, and nature reserves. To manage water levels and allow ships to pass between different water systems, the Dutch perfected the use of locks and sluices. Locks are like water elevators for boats, allowing them to move between canals and rivers that are at different heights. Sluices are gates that can be opened or closed to control the flow of water, preventing salt water from intruding into freshwater systems and draining excess rainwater out to sea. The intricate network of these devices across the country is what keeps the delicate water balance in check. It's a complex, nationwide plumbing system that operates on a massive scale, protecting the land and keeping the economy moving. This expertise has made the Netherlands a global leader in hydroengineering. When Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, Dutch experts were called in to help redesign the city's flood defenses. When other coastal cities around the world face the threat of rising sea levels, they look to Dutch models for solutions. The Delta Works, a massive series of dams and storm surge barriers in the southwest of the Netherlands, is considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. It's a testament to the Dutch ability to think big and innovate for the long term. Their relationship with water has evolved from a defensive battle to a proactive partnership, a lesson in resilience for the entire planet. If there is one thing that defines daily life in the Netherlands, it's the bicycle. This is not just a hobby or a sport here. It's the primary mode of transport for people of all ages. In fact, there are more bicycles than people in the country. An estimated 23 million bikes for a population of around 18 million. From toddlers in cargo bikes and students rushing to class, to professionals in business suits and seniors doing their grocery shopping, everyone seems to be on 2 wheels. The Dutch cycle in all weather conditions, with rain gear and a determined spirit. It's an integral part of their culture and a wonderfully efficient way to get around. The country is perfectly suited for cycling. Its famously flat terrain means you can pedal for miles without breaking much of a sweat. More importantly, the infrastructure is simply phenomenal. There are over 35,000 kilometers of dedicated, high-quality cycle paths, completely separate from car traffic. These paths are well lit, clearly signposted, and often have their own traffic lights and roundabouts. In cities, bicycles have priority. You'll see massive, multi-story bicycle parking garages near train stations, capable of holding thousands of bikes. This commitment to cycling makes it not only easy and safe, but also the most logical and convenient way to travel for many journeys. This love affair with the bicycle is a relatively modern phenomenon. After World War II, as cars became more popular, Dutch cities started to become congested and dangerous for cyclists and pedestrians. In the 1970s, a social movement called Stop de Kindermoord, which means Stop the Child Murder, protested the high number of children being killed in traffic accidents.
This public outcry, combined with the 1973 oil crisis, pushed the government to rethink its urban planning. They began to actively promote cycling, investing heavily in the infrastructure we see today. It was a conscious choice to prioritize people over cars, and it has transformed Dutch towns and cities for the better. For visitors, renting a bike is one of the best ways to experience the Netherlands like a local. It allows you to explore cities at a relaxed pace, discovering hidden courtyards and quaint streets that you might miss on a bus or tram. It's also the perfect way to see the countryside, pedaling along dikes, through fields of tulips, and past historic windmills. Just be sure to follow the rules of the road, stay in the lane, use hand signals, and always lock your bike. Joining the flow of two-wheel traffic is an immersive and unforgettable part of any trip to this cycling mad nation.
When you picture the Dutch countryside, you likely imagine a flat landscape dotted with iconic windmills, their sails turning slowly in the breeze. These structures are more than just picturesque landmarks. They are powerful symbols of Dutch history and innovation. For centuries, before the advent of steam and electric power, windmills were the engines that drove the Dutch economy and helped create the country itself. The Dutch harnessed the relentless wind blowing in from the North Sea and used it to perform incredible feats of engineering. These were the high-tech machines of their time, essential for the nation's survival and prosperity. The most important function of many Dutch windmills was to pump water. Known as polder mills, these windmills were crucial for draining lakes and marshes to create the famous polders. A series of windmills, each one lifting water a little higher than the last, could drain vast areas of land, effectively pushing the water out and keeping the reclaimed land dry. The windmills of Kinderdijk, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are a stunning example of this. A group of 19 windmills stands as a beautiful monument to the generations-long struggle to control the water. They are a tangible reminder of how the Dutch used nature's power to overcome its challenges. Beyond pumping water, windmills served a wide variety of industrial purposes. There were sawmills that processed timber for the shipbuilding industry, which was booming during the Dutch Golden Age. There were mills for grinding grain into flour, pressing oil from seeds, and even for making paper, paint, and spices. The Zaanse Schans area near Amsterdam was one of the world's first industrial zones, with hundreds of windmills powering different manufacturing processes. Visiting Zaanse Schans today feels like stepping back in time, as you can see these various types of windmills still in operation, demonstrating the ingenuity that fueled the nation's economic might. While most of the heavy lifting is now done by modern, electric-powered pumping stations, hundreds of historic windmills are still lovingly maintained across the Netherlands. Many are open to the public, and some are even still inhabited by millers. They stand as proud monuments to a bygone era, celebrating the resourcefulness and perseverance of the Dutch people. They are not just relics of the past, but living history, connecting the modern Netherlands to the innovative spirit that allowed its people to build a nation against all odds. A visit to a working windmill is a chance to hear the creak of the wooden gears and feel the power of the wind that helped shape this remarkable country. Although they are a quintessential symbol of the Netherlands, tulips are not actually native to the country. Their story begins on the mountain slopes of Central Asia. They were first cultivated in the Ottoman Empire, which is present-day Turkey, where they were a cherished symbol of wealth and power. The flower was introduced to the Netherlands in the late 16th century by a botanist named Carolus Clusius. He planted a collection of tulip bulbs in the botanical garden at Leiden University, and their vibrant colors and unique shapes quickly captivated the Dutch elite. The flower became a must-have luxury item for the wealthy merchant class. This fascination with tulips grew into a frenzy in the 1630s, an extraordinary period known as tulip mania. As demand for rare and beautiful bulbs soared, prices began to skyrocket. People started trading tulip bulbs like stocks, and a speculative bubble formed. At the peak of the mania, a single bulb of a particularly prized variety, like the Semper Augustus, with its dramatic red and white flames, could be sold for more than the price of a grand house in Amsterdam. People from all walks of life, from craftsmen to merchants, invested their life savings in the tulip market, hoping to make a quick fortune. It was the world's first recorded speculative bubble. Of course, the bubble had to burst. In the winter of 1637, the market collapsed suddenly and dramatically. Prices plummeted, and traders who had promised to buy bulbs at high prices were left bankrupt. Fortunes were wiped out overnight, and the Dutch economy was shaken. The story of tulip mania has since become a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and speculation. The phenomenon was caused by broken tulips, whose beautiful, flame-like patterns were the result of a virus. These rare, infected bulbs were the most valuable, but they were also unpredictable, adding to the speculative frenzy. Despite the crash, the Dutch love for tulips endured. Over the centuries, Dutch growers have perfected the art of tulip cultivation, becoming the world's leading producers and exporters of tulip bulbs. Today, the flower is an essential part of Dutch culture and a major industry. Every spring, vast fields in provinces like North Holland transform into a breathtaking patchwork of brilliant colors. The Keukenhof Gardens, the world's largest flower garden, showcases the incredible variety and beauty of Dutch tulips. The story of the tulip, from a foreign import to a symbol of national identity and a lesson in economics, is as colorful and compelling as the flower itself.
Beyond the famous icons, the Netherlands offers some quirky and interesting cultural facts that provide a deeper glimpse into the Dutch way of life. For instance, did you know that we have the Dutch to thank for orange carrots? Before the 17th century, carrots came in a variety of colors, including purple, white, and yellow. As the story goes, patriotic Dutch growers began cultivating orange carrots as a tribute to the House of Orange-Nassau, the Dutch royal family led by William of Orange. This new, vibrant orange variety became incredibly popular, and Dutch farmers exported it across Europe, eventually making it the standard color for carrots worldwide. It's a fun example of how national pride can influence something as simple as the color of a vegetable. Another surprising fact is the Dutch passion for coffee. You might associate great coffee culture with Italy or France, but the Dutch are consistently among the top coffee consumers in the world per capita. Coffee plays a central role in social life. Coffee tide, or coffee time, usually around 10:30 in the morning, is a cherished ritual in homes and offices across the country. It's a moment to take a break, chat with colleagues or friends, and enjoy a cup of coffee, which is traditionally served black and strong. When you're invited to someone's home, you will almost certainly be offered coffee, often accompanied by a single biscuit, a charming example of Dutch frugality. Of course, no discussion of Dutch culinary culture is complete without mentioning cheese. The Netherlands has a cheese-making tradition that dates back centuries, and Dutch cheeses like Gouda and Edam are famous around the world. The country is one of the world's largest exporters of cheese, and the sight of vast, flat, green pastures dotted with black and white Frisian cows is a common one. To see this tradition in action, you can visit a historic cheese market in towns like Alkmaar or Gouda. Here you can watch traders in traditional dress perform the age-old ritual of clapping hands to strike a deal and see massive wheels of cheese being weighed and transported on wooden carriers. These tidbits, orange carrots, a deep love for coffee, and an enduring passion for cheese are more than just trivia. They are windows into the Dutch soul. They reveal a culture that is proud of its heritage, values social connection, and has a deep appreciation for simple, high-quality products. From the color of their vegetables to the timing of their coffee breaks, the Dutch have a way of life that is both practical and deeply rooted in passion. Exploring these everyday customs is a rewarding part of any journey through the Netherlands, adding flavor and context to your travels.
When we think of the Netherlands, we usually picture a small, flat country in northwestern Europe. However, the Kingdom of the Netherlands extends far beyond its European borders.
all the way to the turquoise waters and sunny skies of the Caribbean. The kingdom is made up of 4 constituent countries, the Netherlands itself, and the 3 island nations of Aruba, Curaçao, and Sint Maarten. These islands have their own governments and are considered equal partners within the kingdom. This unique political structure is a legacy of the Netherlands' colonial history, which has evolved into a more modern transatlantic partnership. In addition to these 3 countries, there are 3 other islands, Bonaire, Sint Eustatius, and Saba, that have a different status, known collectively as the Caribbean Netherlands, or the BS Islands. They are special municipalities of the Netherlands proper. This means they are governed more directly from The Hague, much like any other Dutch town, and they use the US dollar as their official currency for practical reasons. For travelers, this means you can fly from Amsterdam to Bonaire and technically never leave the country. It's a fascinating aspect of the modern Netherlands that often goes unnoticed by visitors focused on Europe. Each of these Caribbean islands offers a completely different experience from the European Netherlands. Instead of canals and windmills, you'll find stunning coral reefs, volcanic landscapes, and beautiful sandy beaches. Bonaire is world-renowned for its pristine marine park, making it a paradise for divers and snorkelers. Saba, known as the Unspoiled Queen, is essentially a dormant volcano rising steeply from the sea, with lush rainforests and challenging hiking trails. Sint Eustatius, or Statia, is rich in history, having once been one of the most important trading ports in the Caribbean. These islands offer a unique blend of Caribbean nature and a subtle, yet present, Dutch influence. The connection is visible in the architecture, with colorful colonial buildings reminiscent of Amsterdam, and in the language, as Dutch is an official language alongside English and local Creoles like Papiamento. This Caribbean dimension adds an incredible layer of diversity to the Kingdom of the Netherlands. It highlights a history that is complex and global, linking Europe and the Americas. For the Dutch, these islands are a sunny escape, a part of their kingdom where life moves at a different pace. For travelers, they are a reminder that the Netherlands is more than just a European nation. It's a kingdom that spans the Atlantic.
The Netherlands may be a small country, but it is packed with diverse and captivating destinations. Amsterdam is the vibrant heart of it all, famous for its concentric canals lined with narrow gabled houses. Exploring this city is a joy, whether you're gliding on a canal boat, visiting world-class museums like the Rijksmuseum and the Van Gogh Museum, or simply soaking up the lively, creative atmosphere. Beyond the main sights, the real magic of Amsterdam is found in wandering its charming side streets, discovering hidden gardens, and browsing the quirky shops in the Jordaan district. It's a city that beautifully balances its rich history with a modern, free-spirited energy. If you're looking for a fairy tale experience, head to Giethoorn, the Venice of the Netherlands. This enchanting village has no roads in its historic centre. Instead, life revolves around a network of canals. Residents get around by punter boats, which are propelled by a long pole, or by walking across the more than 170 wooden arch bridges that connect the thatched roof farmhouses. A visit to Giethoorn feels like stepping into a peaceful, bygone world. In stark contrast, Rotterdam offers a glimpse into the future. Almost completely rebuilt after World War II, it's a showcase of bold, modern architecture, from the quirky cube houses to the magnificent Markthal. It's also home to Europe's largest port, a powerhouse of global trade. For a dose of classic Dutch heritage, Zaanse Schans is a must-see. This open-air museum is a reconstructed 18th century village where you can see historic windmills in action, watch artisans make wooden shoes, and sample delicious Dutch cheese. Meanwhile, The Hague, or Den Haag, offers a more stately and refined experience. It's the political centre of the Netherlands, home to the Dutch Parliament, the Royal Palace, and international courts. The city also boasts fantastic art museums like the Marlitzhuis, where you can see Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring, and it's just a short tram ride from the breezy North Sea coast to Scheveningen. Finally, for flower lovers,
A spring trip to Keukenhof is an unforgettable pilgrimage. Open for just a few weeks each year, this world-famous garden is a spectacular showcase of the Dutch flower industry. Millions of tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths create a breathtaking explosion of color across 32 hectares of beautifully landscaped grounds. From the urban energy of Amsterdam and Rotterdam to the tranquil beauty of Giethoorn and Keukenhof, the Netherlands offers a remarkable variety of experiences. Each destination provides a unique window into the culture, history, and innovative spirit of this incredible country, inviting you to come and discover its many treasures.